Guys, Southampton 3, Arsenal 2. We might as well review the performances and provide the player ratings, or I might as well do that. Before we begin, it's obviously sucks that we dropped points today. We've rid our luck, especially offensively, because we've scored late flurries of goals or we've scored late goals to get us out of games. But you can't always ride your luck. Sometimes you need to go out there from start to finish with a clear game plan and execute it perfectly. None of which was done today. I felt Unai Emery's obviously done his thing and I'm happy with him, but on a game-by-game critique basis. The more we move on in his career as Arsenal manager, we need to see certain things, and I felt today he got the tactics completely wrong. Again, hindsight's easy, and he's got way more footballing experience than I'll ever have, but there was no need to go free at the back. I felt changes could have happened. I don't necessarily feel the correct changes were made as well, but yeah, it sucks that we essentially let him 3 goals from crosses, cheap mistakes. There's never an easy way to score a goal or concede a goal, better yet, apologies. Obviously, if someone scores a bang or a terrific free kick, you'll hold your hats up. But other than that, there's always something you could have done better for all the goals. But I felt every goal, especially the last one, it's just the ice on the top of the cake. It's just, especially because regardless of not having our first choice defensive partnerships or options, a lot of them have way more experience than a lot of the options we can select from. So to see some of the goals was ridiculous. But let's start with Leno. Now, Leno, I do think I'm being harsh, and it's a weird game, people, because although I feel we played poor and we obviously lost, it's not the end of the world, essentially. For me, anyways, again, I'm not excusing the performances. I'm livid that we dropped 3 points, but that doesn't mean I'm going to give everybody a 2 and a -5 and them things. So am I being harsh on Leno? Because Leno did make some saves. His ball playing was okay, but by the same logic, I felt he invited pressure. But I feel a 4 is the right result, people, because I can only attribute the last goal to him, but from start to finish, I just feel the back 5 or the whole team just wasn't quite at it, especially from playing out from the back. I felt he was inviting a lot of pressure. I feel he needs to really stop being... There's a difference between having a healthy confidence and being ridiculously arrogant. I'm not getting at his character just purely on the football front. He appears way too arrogant and way too full of himself, essentially, and it costs us at times with cheap mistakes, like you saw for the last goal. If you're coming, you make sure you come. Charlie Austin, I don't advocate foul play, but if Charlie Austin's coming for that ball, you have to get, like my coach Darren told my keeper George when I was playing Sunday League, you come, you take that player. You get that ball, you get that play, you get everything. If you're going to come, you make sure you do that. If you're not going to come, you need to stay. But what you can't do is pause and then decide, to which he decides to do, and it's a sloppy goal, and it just sums up, essentially, the kickoff, essentially. Koscielny, I've got to give him a 3, people. I've got to. He was en route to getting a 5, but the 2 goals, I can't get over it. Yes, he's only got 70 minutes, and I'll discount a lot of that. And his ball playing was alright today, and he made a couple good tackles. And for someone that's been out for a while, he looked alright. But there's no escaping the goals, people. The goal, the first one, he sees it developing. He gets in between. Ings is a street smart striker. He gets in between. Koscielny is looking twice. I rewinded it and watched it, people. In the build-up, he's watching Ings twice. He purposely ignores it. And then what really, again, he needs. You can make sense of what I just said yourself. He's an experienced centre half. You should know if he's free, I need to do something about it or call my partners or something. I can't just leave him. And if I'm going to do that and a cross is coming in, the hardest thing to do is watch a player and watch the ball. I'm a fullback. I'm not a centre half, so I know it's annoying when you have to mark from a corner or something. You have to watch your man and be on the half turn. So if he's going to do that, you must be able to see at the corner of your eye where Ings is. So with that being said, even if you can't, go with it. Why does he not go with his head? Why is he trying to boot it or whatever he does? If he goes with his head, I'm pretty sure he makes that. It's easy for me to sit here and say this in hindsight, but I'm pretty sure he makes that. He doesn't, we concede. And obviously the second goal as well, he gets in between Koscielny again. So I can't discount that, people. It's a 3. Koscielny, I've told you that I hope to be proved wrong, and I'm not going to conclude his Arsenal career because he's come back and he's played 90 minutes today and he got 70 minutes in the week. So he hasn't played that much. He's been out for a while. But I made the vid, people saying he's finished, and I honestly believe he's finished. Like, I don't believe Koscielny can contribute positively to our season, and like I said in the video, I hope to God I'm proved wrong. I hope Koscielny can prove me wrong, but I can only go with what my heart feels, and today he just shown a centre half is needed, and it's weird because season in, season out, we're signing centre halves. It feels a bit at the moment that the club is going for quantity over quality, especially when we're overstocked in several positions. Unai Emery said we need a centre half, and it's been backed up today, in my opinion. Koscielny, yeah, you get a 3, bro. Lichtsteiner, I give him a 4. I was gonna give him a. Do you know what? 4 is OTT. I'm gonna give him a 5. He could have done better for the goal we conceded. And I felt we was poor, but yeah, man, I just feel that's about right for him, sort of thing. I give Monreal a 5. He obviously got an assist. I felt he grew into the game. What I didn't like as well, obviously he's in a wing back position, so he has to go forward. And the system is set up with Torreira and Guendouzi slightly to a degree to have extra men back to allow our fullbacks to fully make use of their freedom and things. So he has to go forward, and it's always difficult getting balance. But especially in the first half, I was seeing too much gaps between Xhaka and him, and Redmond was exploiting it, and that's probably a criticism. Southampton weren't exploiting that aspect a bit more than they could, and we got away with it. But if I was just seeing that, I just felt he could have been much better in that regards. And obviously, every goal could have been avoided today, especially. So I suppose when I watch the game again, I'll find fault at what everybody's doing. But Monreal can walk away with a 5. Bellerin can walk away with a 5 for me as well today. Again, not to say he played amazing, but a 5 is just about right. Again, similar to what a couple of the guys I've named, I thought it was harsh for him to be subbed. I don't know if he's injured, but he really should have stopped the cross. There's no escaping that for Target's cross that led to Ings' first. Should have stopped the cross. But I felt he put a decent couple balls into the first half that Aubameyang and them man there didn't take advantage of. I don't feel he played amazing, but if I look at everyone's performance, I certainly don't think he's one of the worst. So Lichtsteiner and Bellerin can get 5s, but something is telling me in my heart to give them 4s, but they're lucky. I need to watch it again. Xhaka gets a 5. Yeah, we weren't. I feel we was terrible at the same time. We wasn't. You would have thought the headlines would have been written today. Xhaka centre half. They're right their own minute. I did feel he stood off at times, and he showed that he's not a centre half numerous times. And even there was one, he was shepherding the ball out in the first half or second half, can't remember. And Redmond almost took it off him, and it could have been a danger. But considering the man's not a centre half, and I don't believe he was the worst centre half in that pairing, can walk away with a 5. Mkhitaryan, I give him I don't know, people, because I think Mkhitaryan was poor today. Yes, there was times where he played well, he linked up well. I'm giving him credit. He obviously scored 2 goals. I mean, if we walked away with a point, it would have been because of him. And one positive I'll give him, he seems to be scoring more this season in the opportunity he's getting. But for me, far too hot and cold. It's difficult for him because I know he's made a career out of playing in the 10 position or creative position and as well as the flanks. But in regards to what it is at Arsenal, I see a man who doesn't have any interest on staying out wide. Whether he knows it subconsciously or not, he goes inside. He wants to be on the ball. So with that, he's naturally not going to be able to help Bellerin consistently defensively. He switches off a lot. 2v1 situations being created for Bellerin. I don't get it twisted. To his degree, he did track back and stuff like that. So I give him a 6, but him and Iwobi, I felt at half time they could have been 2 candidates to come off the field, to be fair. So I give him a 6, man. Big him up for the 2 goals. I'll give him credit. Lucas Torreira gets a 6. Definitely for one of the goals, him and Matteo Guendouzi switched off, and they should have done better in that regards. But he was his usual self, tackled. Just it's nice to have someone competent, so he's got a 6. Guendouzi gets a 5. One naivety that annoys me about him: play to the whistle. Don't expect refs to kick it up to stop the game for you. Play to the whistle. And again, I believe in sportsmanship and things like that. But you know them ones, people, where the opposition's got a man down. They have the ball. They have not conceded that they're going to kick the ball out for this man. We're stopping play. We've done it a couple of times, and we weren't in the lead. And this is the sort of thing, we're being too nice. Again, if someone's legitly injured, because there's always idiots in my comments, if someone's legitly injured, by all means kick it off. But if the opposition, if the ref isn't stopping it, if the opposition isn't stopping it, then what is going on? He really needs to get out of that. Again, I'm a hypocrite, because if this script was flipped and I was a Southampton fan, or Arsenal was in the Southampton player's position, I'd be saying kick it off. But yeah, that's the only thing stopping him from being a super player, in my opinion. He just needs to... little things. Obviously, he showed his brilliance with the ball in the first half for Aubameyang and things, but yeah, man, he gets a 5. Iwobi gets a 4. Shout him out for his help in the build-up for the first goal, and he was involved, but I just felt he was poor today. Aubameyang, the output was there. He made a lot of runs. He made a lot of convincing. The effort was there, the application, but at the end of the day, he didn't score. He didn't really get in any positions to score. And when he did, the quality wasn't quite there. That being said, he was better when Lacazette did come onto the field. But he's going to get a 4 for me. If I've missed anyone else out at this point, I don't think I have. But if I have, they haven't been good enough. Yeah, Ozil came on. He didn't have long, but I felt he deserves a 3. I think, again, like Guendouzi, looking to the ref too much. When the dummies worked, it was amazing. But like you saw for the goal we conceded, you can't be dummying balls in silly positions like that if context is like that. So he gets a free. Maitland-Niles, I don't feel Maitland-Niles. You guys know I love him, but I don't feel he was effective today. For whatever reason, we had to make the sub, so he gets a 4. And Lacazette gets a 7, in my opinion, because he came on and he made a difference. He obviously got, if you can call it, an assist for Mkhitaryan. So that's enough for me, to be fair with you. All in all, it's a weird one, because on one hand, I think we played poor. On the other hand, I feel like I'm going a bit OTT, but all that matters is we didn't get 3 points. We didn't walk away with what we needed to. Yeah, if I had to give it to anyone, if I had to say who I'd be least annoyed with in terms of the game today, I'd probably say Lucas Torreira, Mkhitaryan to a degree, but ultimately it wasn't good enough. We've dropped vital 3 points in regard to the title race. We've obviously got Spurs in our next fixture, so we'll see what he's saying. But yeah, man, I also feel as well, Emery got his tactics completely wrong today. I feel Mkhitaryan and Iwobi, we can't consistently start both. I know we haven't got much to work with, but neither are showing enough. They're not offering enough, and they kind of make it easier for the opposition because they both are incredibly narrow. Feel we over respected Southampton today. I don't feel there was any need to go 3 at the back, especially when you can't really call upon 3 certified options. I feel, again, it's easy in hindsight, but I said in my preview, I didn't say Maitland-Niles at fullback in my preview because Kohler wasn't injured at that point, but could it have been worth it? Maitland-Niles at fullback, Monreal and Koscielny as the options, and obviously Bellerin. Could it have been that? And when you look at some of the oppositions and positions that Redmond took up, maybe Maitland-Niles who's a bit quicker than Xhaka because Xhaka was getting pulled out there because I've stopped a lot of that. But who knows, man? That's for another day. On that note, people, my player ratings are done. Like I said, Southampton 3, Arsenal 2. People, deluded. I'm out.